I hear urine's good for your skin.
Yeah, it's very exfoliating. I piss on myself.
No, I'm not even lying.
Oh, okay.
I dated a girl who said her mom would do that. Right? She would wash their face with urine because it helped them not get acne.
I think her mom was a prostitute.
Right? Like it's something with like
the acidity, I guess, would probably kill
and the girl
bacteria.
didn't have acne. Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And it's 9/11.
It's September 11th.
Definitely day remembered.
The day of remembrance, never forget. I saw that
yeah.
at the bottom of an email this morning.
Yeah.
Boy, I do remember. I do remember every day.
Yeah, that's like, Jesus, that's like
22 years ago.
Yeah.
22 years, yeah.
It's like, wait, damn, that was a long time ago.
It was a life-changing day, I think, for everybody in this country.
You know, what is that? It was at that Einhauser. I can't say his name. Dwight Eisenhower.
Yeah,
his speech, "A Day That Will Live in Infamy."
Oh,
is that him or
Franklin
who's that?
Delano Roosevelt?
Oh, Roosevelt.
A day that will live
Like
in infamy.
you could use that.
You sure
speech
can.
for 9/11.
Oh,
you know what
can.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
For sure. Just change the date.
That's it.
December 7th.
I can see someone doing like a little edit.
I love the way FDR used to talk, and like I don't get it because I don't feel like it would work today.
I feel like he was probably one of the best speakers.
He was, but like for his time, because today people wouldn't have the patience for it. Because he was like, well, December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. Like, I don't feel like we would listen to it.
I think we would.
Maybe.
Because it's pretty sick.
He just... We are going to kill the Empire of Japan.
How funny would it be? Like some politician starts running, and that's how he spoke.
Right.
And it's, you haven't heard an accent like that.
He makes you wait. He makes you like wait a little bit.
Yeah.
America.
He brings you in.
Will be. Everyone else is sitting waiting.
We'll be what?
We'll be what? What are we gonna be?
But I could see probably too the other side of it.
Can you hurry up and speak on stage? This fucker doesn't even know what he wants to say. All right, he doesn't even have words. He's so stupid.
I would love it.
I want to see Trump and FDR go up against each other. It'd be.
I feel like he likes FDR. Though.
You are orange. He doesn't even know his colors. Look at him.
I wonder if he just in his daily life spoke that way.
Probably.
Like I speak slow, but I don't sound cool. Like
the dude
FDR.
cheated on his wife crazy. It was nuts. He's like, I would like to hear him pick up on a check. I'm the president.
You want some of this sausage?
My legs don't work.
Well, I mean, how did they like pick up the girls back then? Like it was a different way.
Did they really pick them up, or did they just be like,
get in my car?
Like, I mean, things have gotten better.
Bitch, get in my car right now.
I'm the president and I'm a man. You get in here when I tell you to.
Why I oughta?
You tell my wife? Yeah.
It is. It's also Lena, my daughter, our daughter's birthday.
Probably more importantly, Well,
I mean,
the child was
very
born
important
on this day.
Yeah, she's
14 years ago.
Good. She's my good luck baby.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always like, I've said it before. I think even on here, I'm sorry. It's my child. No,
I'm sorry that your child was born on the Death of America Day.
I know.
Attempted Murder of America Day.
Like,
I think it's like, we have something very tragic, but also something very like personally special.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the world needs balance, and births on that day is a great thing.
On this day in 2009,
Elena was born.
Right?
A day that will
9 pounds, 15 ounces. She's almost 10.
128 ounces.
How many pounds
I'm bad at math.
I am so bad at math. I was actually helping her with some geometry last week.
Well, that doesn't mean you're bad at math. If you couldn't do that. That just means you're a normal human being.
Well, like I was using her notes that she had because she was like, I keep getting it wrong. And I'm like, well, because I think sometimes when I speak, I sound like I'm being a dick.
Sure.
Like, well, show me. Like,
how you doing, you little dumbass?
I don't get it. I don't get it. So maybe you can show me.
Yeah.
I don't say it that way.
I'm so fucking stupid. You think I don't know your math yet?
In my head, it sounds. I'm like, so sometimes I'll be like, I'm legit asking. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Like I don't know. So I'm like, where's your notes? Like I'm trying to learn. I'm learning with you.
Sure.
I'll let it be known right now. I have no idea what I'm doing. So
I'm a teacher, so it's like,
where's your notes?
And like I know, I'm like, oh, let's take a look at it. Okay, so right here, what we have is a number, and this is a symbol, and I took a geometry class in high school. I probably did better in geometry than any other math, but proofs, which that's all I've really seen of her math because she didn't get proofs. Well, neither did I. And
it was weird. I didn't get it either.
I told you the other night, I helped her when I'm like, I think I finally get proofs. I had like 8 different steps and like, this proves it. I feel like a mathematical genius. She turned it into her teacher and they're like, wrong. There's only 2 steps. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I did it.
I think a lot.
I showed my work.
They're like, you must be an overthinker.
I did new math. Okay. I did all the steps and.
Oh yeah. You did what is that called? What kind of
Common
math?
Core? I did Common Core math.
Is that still being taught?
Oh yeah, Common Core will never go away. Common Core, and actually, yeah, the phrase Common Core gets a bad rap, folks, because Common Core is just a set of standards by grade level. New math is a way of presenting math that is deeper in the sense of a child understanding.
Well, it helps them think, I think.
Why. It's deeper thinking versus just rote memorization. So it's actually a good thing. It's just often presented in ways that are very different than the way that we learn.
Well, like us old folk, we hate change. So
we do.
Of course, it's going to be, everyone's going to be like,
right. Yeah, new math. Well, I hate that Pluto's not a planet now. So I understand to a point.
Yeah. I get it because it is weird because I don't know how to do, like I've learned just by helping the kids when they're younger.
Right.
Like JJ's good at math, so he's always
like,
you got math? He's like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Elliot was pretty good. He was
we got it.
And that's gonna be 19. I was like, damn, look at this kid. So quick. JJ, he's smoking you. You better hurry up.
I'm sure JJ does just fine.
No, he does well in math. He does well. He was just talking about that today. They had to do math pack. He goes, I kind of jumped ahead though. I'm like, that's fine.
Elliot, he gets like a worksheet for the week.
Yeah.
And he has to have it done within the week. And I think he has like the first side done today. I'm like, good, buddy. Like I'm trying to teach him stay ahead of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to teach the girls.
Yeah, I just checked with Elena today. She had one little assignment that she thought she turned in. She didn't. I'm like, okay, that's why we're checking every day. It's good. Like this is fine. Yeah. Let's just get it turned in. And she did. She had it done. So I just keep talking to her. I'm like, remember, it feels a lot better to stay ahead than to fall behind because then they get stressed and they get
I know. They were. So she hadn't been feeling good. Just feel like
I know
all this. Something's going around.
She's stuffy.
She was stuffy last night.
My brother and his family had norovirus.
La Nora.
Yeah. It was La Llorona. They had the La Llorona virus.
They have the Llorona.
This random lady will kill you with the darkness.
Did you watch
it's
that?
A bad virus. It was a horrible movie. I hate to say
it wasn't that good.
I really wanted it to be good.
He hated it because they were Mexican.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't get the words. La Llorona.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Yeah, you wanna? I don't. Please leave me alone.
No.
The thing that upset me was like I never knew about La Llorona because I was a white boy,
I didn't grow up.
You're half white boy.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's like not something I was ever familiar with. And Blanca told me the story of La Llorona, and I was just so like shocked.
You're like, I thought that was a song. My Sharona.
My Llorona. Yeah, it was one of my favorites as a kid. But it's just so
like a crappy song too.
Wild. It's like such a terrifying concept. I don't really remember the exact details of
She's like a mom or something.
Right. And like she'll come and take children if they're bad or something, or like just in general. It's some terrifying
She's
story.
Pennywise.
She's Pennywise as a Mexican lady.
Yeah,
she'll hit you with the chancla and then take you away. And Blanca told me the story. I'm like, man, that's such a great horror story, and like it scares the shit out of children. No, not sure it's the most appropriate, but that's really scary. Then they come out with this movie, and I'm like, bleh.
Yeah, see, we've talked about this a million times, but like, I haven't seen a horror movie that it's just like
terrifying.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Now that I know what Elena wants to kind of like get into. I want to show her like Paranormal Activity,
Some
Blair
weird
Witch.
stuff. Oh, Blair Witch was pretty cool.
Those stuff, because she was like interested in the camera, the fake camera stuff.
Yeah,
man.
You got to be so careful with that too. Yeah. Like I was thinking about this. So one of the best movies I've seen, and you would agree probably on this, Interstellar.
Oh, I love that movie.
Instead of having actors portray people telling a story, being interviewed, he used clips from oh crap, the guy that does all the American Experience documentaries, not Tim Burton.
You know,
Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, what's the guy that does all the like the documentaries? Burns. Ted Burns, Tim Burns, something. Anyway, Burns. Yeah. He's a super famous guy that does all this. Well, they use Dust Bowl. They use footage of people talking about the Dust Bowl from like the actual Dust Bowl from the 1920s, but then just used it in the context of Interstellar.
Because there was all that dust, right. Though.
So it's like people talking authentically about their experience. Because unless you get a great actor, the worst thing is someone being interviewed and it's an actor talking and they're always so fakey about it.
You know what's crazy is like I've watched that movie countless times, and I never knew that, but I was always like that. I mean, I was just always like that. That's so cool. I love how they did that.
The reason I looked it up is because I've always noticed, like, anytime someone's supposed to be on the news or whatever, they're always fake.
They always have the news anchor
voice.
They
have like, I mean, news anchor stuff's fine because news anchors are fake, but they bring like the guy in to talk and just like, well, it's uncertain in these times. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, you sound like an actor. You sound like you're reading.
You sound fake.
When people talk just off the cuff, it always comes across differently than when someone's like memorized the line. Unless they're a super good actor. So the fact that these people were so believable and I didn't recognize them, and like something's weird here. He did something really good.
I'm thinking,
they're old as shit. I'm like, come on.
I wonder if they just like. I thought maybe they just asked him like interview questions, and this is the response.
This is what it was.
I mean, I thought that's how they did it.
They literally took people that lived through the Dust Bowl, and so they were like legit telling their story from their experience, and then they use it in the context of what's going on in this, like it's people from the future talking about this time of Interstellar movie. Brilliant, and it works so great.
Yeah,
I think I was tying that into scary movies. Somehow.
Yeah, you were.
So
because you said you were talking about the way because you have to do the hand motion.
When you do those types of movies where it's like supposed to be like a docu-series, you got to be so careful. That line between good and corny is so fine. It's such a tightrope. Because there are some that should be really scary. One that drove me nuts. There was one that was supposed to be John Wayne Gacy's house. Mm-hmm. And it annoyed me because people like me that watch serial killer stuff, I know what John Gacy's house looked like.
Yeah, that's not it.
It was a 1960s house. These kids are looking in a farmhouse. The other problem, they tore the fucking house down.
Is that the one where they went on the porch?
Probably. It was like a farmhouse with like, and it was scary. It was all haunted by John Wayne Gacy. And like, okay, A, his house, let's do this again. His house is in Chicago. B, they tore it down when they found all the bodies. C, and D, that's not even close to the house. It's just like so dumb. Well, so A, no, go ahead. Why am I going to do that again? I don't know. I'm back at school, folks. I got to keep those alphabets.
Do you do the ABs to the kids like that?
No. Because it's seen I'm not very good at it.
The kids would be like, what are you talking about?
A and B, and then I don't have a B ready.
Like, it's something.
For those of you that didn't watch last week, I did that quite a bit to the point it was a problem. But go ahead.
I was editing that video to see if I caught it, and I couldn't. I think there was a moment where I'm like, where I kind of like smirk because you're doing it.
A, B, and I didn't even finish a B, and then went into another A, B scenario, and like, God, dude.
Oh, God, that's funny. No, the Blair Witch. Great. So that was one. And so when it came out, I think I was just out of high school.
Okay, didn't they sell that too as like a true story?
Well, so that's the thing. So this is before Google, right?
Yeah, right. You couldn't just Google that.
And my mom is very gullible. And so
this witch is in them woods.
Yeah. So she freaking saw something like on
some channel, like Discovery or something. Like they did something to make.
She's like that was that's based on a true story. That's real. I'm like, no, it ain't real.
It's real.
She's like, no. So I went into that movie
thinking it was a documentary.
Thinking it was for real. Like this is real footage.
This is proof. We know
there's certain things, and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. But how did they find the film? Like.
Right.
did they get the okay from the people? You know, like whatever.
Right.
And
they're dead, and the parents aren't mad at all.
Me thinking it was real though, it added to the movie.
It sure does.
It did. It did. I guess
sure
I'm gullible.
does, Jesse. It sure does.
I get my gullibility from my mom. I guess
it happens. I mean,
I blame her. She told me. I gotta trust her.
I'm trying to think if I was in like early high school then. Middle school? You're like 5 years older than I am, I think.
Yeah, I remember. I don't think I was.
So you could have just graduated. And I could have.
Yeah, it was like 99, 2000 something. Because me and my ex-girlfriend, we went to see that movie.
Really?
And then after the movie, we're like driving. I think we're driving back to her mom's or her house or whatever. And like there was someone behind us. So something that kind of freaked me out. So I like pulled over real quick because they had been falling for hella long. And I just
looked like a witch.
Yeah. I was like, I think I'm about to get killed by the Blair Witch. And so I moved over. And
then you told her to go out and check out this lady's car.
Go.
Hey, honey, can you go?
No, I let the car pass. And then
I
don't even know. I can't remember. It just something creeped me out, so I did that. And we were both acting stupid. You know, we just watched this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, my mom. My mom told me it was real. So I think my ex-girlfriend was thinking it was real too. So we were both freaked. Like,
when you guys
I don't scream in movies or anything.
Woods areas and stuff.
Yeah. Seattle. Yeah, it's kind of woodsy
in the air. I mean, it's city, but it's like surrounded by woods.
Well, yeah, I wasn't in like downtown, so outskirts. You know, you still got like good wooded area.
You was in a scary place, bro.
Yeah, I was scared. I shit my pants. It's cool.
Let me tell you something. My brother and I, when I was in college, we went to see that movie with Liv Tyler, The Strangers.
Oh, that was a good movie.
That was a pretty creepy.
That was cool.
Not scary, but just in the sense that there are crazy people like that. It was so good in that sense.
Yeah.
We were kind of the same thing, like just that eerie feeling of like, God, there's just like psycho people everywhere. And out of nowhere, we're driving on the freeway and this rabbit ended up in front of us, like out of nowhere. And I think I hit it. It was like such a bad moment. I'm like, no. I'm sorry, rabbit. Not stopping. Like,
just keep going.
Like, go.
The Strangers was weird because it's like seems like it could happen.
So they say based on a true story, and it's not like based on a true story. Usually, when it says based on a true story, you think like, oh, this is like a documentary. No, it was based on FBI statistics about random crime.
Yeah,
but it's like so true. I mean, it's really like what Manson did, like the Manson family. I think that's actually kind of what it was based on.
I watched like a movie with about Manson and stuff. It was pretty.
Did you ever watch the one where it shows him trying to get in with the Beach Boys to get like a record?
He's the one who had the cult, right?
Yeah,
the guy with the swastika on his forehead.
Yeah, he would get people to kill for him and
I
stuff.
always love listening.
That's wild.
It's like,
Man, people always say that I'm guilty. They don't like me. I never did nothing to nobody.
Like, well, yeah, talk people into it. So that's pretty bad
that's
too.
what I'm saying. Like, how wild is that you could, hey, I need you to go murder this person. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
You know?
She's evil. The spirits done possessed her. Go stab her.
Oh my God. I just seen a video. I wanted to send it to you. It was like a cholo guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like a preacher. And he starts
like a real preacher?
Yeah, something. He was like, had his Timberland boots, his jeans, a big old like red sweater. And he was like, Jesus, we love you. And he's like popping and locking. And I swear he goes, I thought he said, we love you, because he said, Jesus, we love you. And then we love you, fool. And that's how I thought he said. I was like, did he just call Jesus a fool?
Listen, motherfucker, we love you, Jesus.
But he said God. But the way it sounded, because he said,
we love you, God. Okay.
We love you, God. But it sounded like fool.
We love you, fool. I mean, God.
But it was so funny. He was popping locking. He was pretty good, though.
That's pretty funny, though.
It was funny.
Like, that's just a funny thing to see. I mean, like,
he was up on the stage and stuff.
Someone doing the
no, the way, and then the way they edited the video, it was like he's going Super Saiyan for so he like all of a sudden turns and he shoots off. It's hilarious. It's so dumb. It's great.
Like somebody took it and then edited it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
You see him like level up because he's like,
oh my God.
And it's like, you know how
on fire.
Yeah, you know how Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah. I grew up with
the
Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I say grew up. I was like 13 probably when it became super popular, but
well, no, my brother.
I loved it. It was so good.
Yeah, no, that's a good
Kakarot.
one. Yeah, that's such a good one. I mean, kids can watch it. It's not like weird.
No, it's totally normal.
Yeah.
I loved it when Goku was learning to fight in that spaceship that he had the gravity control.
Oh no, gravity or
like he can turn it really high, and so he did all that workout like extreme gravity. And then the first day he's like crawling on the floor, and then by the end he's like punching everything
like so fast,
in extreme gravity. He got so strong in that
like
1 week trip.
How crazy would it be if there was someone that was like that?
Like as long as he had a monkey tail, he was super strong.
He didn't even have one though.
He didn't. It got cut off. He still was that powerful.
That's crazy.
Gohan, little kid.
That was my favorite, actually. Gohan was my favorite.
The way that they would do those cartoons, it was so great. They would draw out one motion like this, and then just replay it over and over again. I love it. And the epic fight scenes where everyone's like nervous. It just goes back and forth.
The fight scenes were so awesome, though.
They were.
They took 4 episodes.
Yeah, they were. They did. Oh, I'm going to kill you, Kakarot. You can't get away from me.
Yeah, like I remember the Frieza saga. He's powering up, going Super Saiyan, and it took a whole, I think it took 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, finally. Kame. And I like how he said, Kame, Hame, ha. And then the guy is like talking, he's like, Goku, use the Kamehameha attack. It's like, it's Kamehameha? I thought it was Kamehameha. But
I hear that all the time now.
Kamehameha. And
like, I think people say it, not even know what it is.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, Kamehameha. I think that's from Hawaii.
No, that was something.
What was that tiny planet?
The one where they would get revived or whatever.
Yeah, who was it that lived on that little planet? He was Master Roshi.
Not Master Roshi.
No. He had the long mustache, right? And he was bald, and he had the glasses.
Oh yeah, that was Master Roshi.
Was that him?
Oh, yeah, I think
he
so.
lived in he
had a turtle
house. Yeah, he had the tortoise turtle thing.
Yeah.
But he had a car. He was the only one that lived on this planet, and you could see all the way around the planet. There's one tree and his house and a road. It probably take 3 seconds to drive around the whole thing, but he had a car. And this guy is
but there's nothing else though.
There's nothing. And this guy just hates his planet. He's just driving for no reason at all.
Man, he's not even thinking to be cool. Green or
what
anything?
If he doesn't realize it's an orb? What if he thinks his world's still flat? So he just keeps passing the same every day. He thinks he's at a new house.
That's a nice house.
I've been driving forever. It's been 3 minutes.
3 hours.
It just stops. God, what a great show.
So switching gears. Before switching gears, Blair Witch came out in '99.
Yeah,
and then they had a bunch of crappy sequels after that.
Yes.
But they were all shit. Don't watch them. The first one, great. The rest one's
the
garbage.
Bloody handprints on the witch's wall going down into her basement, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That was creepy.
It was just creepy because it's in the woods.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I kind of feel like the Blair Witch was the Sanderson sisters. You remember in the original Hocus Pocus? She's like, come little children, I'll take you away. I think she was the Blair Witch. All those little handprints.
Bette Midler.
Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker. Remember? She was the blondie.
She was the one that sang, huh?
Yeah. Bette Midler was the best, though.
Oh, yeah. She's great.
She killed it. There's nothing like the original. We watched the new one last year.
It was all right. It was okay.
But her song was nowhere near as good as her original.
Well, you can't ever do that. You can't.
How do you top I Put a Spell on You?
You just can't. You can't do it.
You can't.
But switching gears.
Bro. Yeah, now we switch gears. Let's do it.
Saturday, I met up with my sister and my brother-in-law, Ben. And me and Alicia went hiking. You guys stayed.
We were supposed to go.
You're going to go, and you didn't, which, I guess that's a good thing.
It's kind of good because you guys were out super late. We had to get ready for the birthday party.
We were.
You didn't get up until 10, right?
So, so it's funny. My wife's pretty sore right now. She doesn't hike. This is one of the first times she's hiked to an actual like a mountain, into the woods. We're going to this Kolchak Lake over in the Wenatchee National Forest area.
Google it. It's gorgeous.
It is. It's a glacier
beautiful
lake. You're on top of this mountain. It's amazing.
It looks fake. In the photographs, it looks like a fake place.
Yeah, it looks like a puzzle your grandma would put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. She would frame it.
I think I put that together.
Shellac it, and then she'd put it in an old 70s wooden frame.
I love
on
puzzles.
A wall.
But anyway.
Puzzles are good.
But yeah, we went. My wife never really hikes. And so I was telling her, I was like, we have this Badger Mountains. If you can do Badger Mountain, you can do this.
Which for those of you that don't know, Badger Mountain is like in the middle of our city.
It's like a hill.
Like, you know, in LA where people are always like hiking up to that one little like radio tower and they're all like LA cool. And no one's sweating. That's kind of like Badger.
Kind of. There's like a couple points.
There are steep spots.
Some steep spots.
Steep.
But so for me, when I went previously, I had gone with my buddy Nick and stuff, and it was, you know, maybe a month prior, and I was like, God, it's not bad. I didn't, you know, took our time. It was great.
Yeah.
Not so much. There were some really steep parts.
It's Blanc and I have done it. It's kind of like constantly going up a flight of stairs. It's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my Alicia was like, I fucking hate you. I hate you right now. She was so pissed. And I was like, no, it's going to be worth it. Until you get to the top, it's going to be worth it when you see that lake. And then someone else would come down. There was a time when someone came down and they're like, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Like really motivating, right? He's like, someone told me that. It helped me get up to the top because mind you, there'd be flat spots. And she's like, okay, you know, I'm like, you were doing great. And she was like, you know, it's 4 miles in, 4 miles out.
Right. But it's a hard 4 miles.
And then, so I'd be like, oh, we're almost there. Almost there. Yeah. And then someone comes down. Yeah, you guys got like an hour and a half.
Believe me, it only gets worse from here, folks.
One guy comes down. He's like, I'm not going to lie. It's terrible. It just gets worse and worse the more you go up.
Turn back down.
Yeah, Ben was laughing. He's like, Jesus. He's like, you're going to die. And
people are crawling down. Oh, God, turn back.
She gives me the look a wife would give you to, like, if she wanted to kill you. Oh, yeah, she cut me that look. And I was like, it's going to be worth it. We're about 20 minutes and someone comes right after I say 20 minutes, someone comes down. Yeah, no, you got about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up.
And it's hard up that way, brother.
Yeah, no, I'm like, babe, we got this. We can keep going. We're almost there. And someone else comes down. Yeah, you guys got another 25 minutes. And she's like, stop talking. Just stop. Literally like four or five times after I would say something, someone would come down out of nowhere and be like, they'd be like, hello, actually, you got this and it's worse. And then someone was like, oh no, it's okay. And then you get to the point. I'm like, oh yeah, look, it's leveled out, right? Because it did. It leveled out. And you're like, oh yeah, we're almost there.
I can smell the water.
And then all of a sudden you turn and it goes up. And she looks at me. She's like, God, I want to cry. I'm so pissed at you.
This is hell.
She was angry. It got to the point where she was getting angry, and then I started, like, once we got to the top, I was kind of annoyed already. Right. But then when she got there, she loved, you know, obviously she liked it.
Nice.
The way back kind of sucked because you get to a point where you're like, oh, are you almost to the park?
Yeah.
And then I almost thought we were there at one point. Me and Ben kind of went ahead of the girls to go get the cars.
Yeah.
And nope.
Still got a while.
And then I come across, we're going down and we're getting closer to the end. And all of a sudden there's this hill to go up. And I'm like, oh my God. I can tell.
Give me out of your shot.
Yeah, she's going to be yelling at me. If I was there, she was probably yelling at me with me not there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was fun. We all had fun.
That's good.
And it was nice to see my sister and spend time. But my wife's like, my calves hurt.
Yeah.
Everything hurt. But she's sick now. She's sick. JJ wasn't feeling good at one point.
Half of my family's sick.
Yeah, your family, Elena.
Everybody's sick, bro. Everybody's coming down with something.
It's the Carl virus or the
coronavirus,
the Lenora virus, or something.
La Llorona, everywhere.
But yeah, no, it was pretty fun though. I mean, the hike.
That's good. You know, I started laughing when you mentioned something. I forget what you mentioned. I started laughing so hard in my head thinking about the first time we did our 18-mile hike.
Yeah,
and we hiked for 2 days straight.
The 32-mile hike, you mean?
Well, 32 altogether.
Yeah,
right? But so it was like 18 one way, 18 out. And we had to climb over down trees.
Oh,
we
man,
had to
it
go
was
under,
rough.
over, around. It was a rough hike. It was fun, but it was a lot. And we got to the end of this trail, and we are so stupid. We thought the lake left.
I know.
We look at there's these channels cut into the grass, and we're like, "Oh, the lake must have dried up."
Yeah.
Nope.
So we were trying to get to this. In our defense, we had a park ranger at one point tell us it's just down that way.
Up there, but it's still pretty
and then
icy.
alltrails.com told us that it was that way. So we were like, oh, and then we get there and it's like
Ingalls Creek, right?
Lake Ingalls, yeah.
Lake Ingalls and the
we're
Ingalls
like,
Creek trail.
Must have dried up. It must be the glacier thing.
Like, well, it's so late in the summer, clearly it dried up, and this is all that's left. And there were like salmon in the water and stuff.
Yeah, there was little fish in there.
It was crazy, but it was like these really straight up and down channels, like probably 3 feet deep.
It did look like there used to be a lake there.
Should have been water there, and it just was like at that point where it kind of dried up, and then
until the next glacier
will come, and like there'll be a lake again. How are we supposed to know it was up the cliff?
Well, we kind of seen something, and we were like, nah, that's not it.
We were almost gonna like climb a mountain, and then we're like, you know what? This is probably really stupid. Let's not do this.
Which is probably a good thing. We would have probably died.
I'm glad. And plus we were so tired.
I just remember the realization hit when we were both almost there, and I'm like, I don't think that was it.
This just doesn't make sense. But it was so hard to accept.
And then because in my head I could see the pictures of it. Yeah. People took like, oh, we're here at the lake.
Oh,
and then
I was like, lake.
Don't look like that. Right. This looks different. And then
why
we look it up.
Is there a mountain right next to it?
Sure enough, for like days we kept texting like,
yeah,
this is where we should have been.
And then finally I found the actual like 4-mile trail. It's a nothing trail, which actually I'm really glad we did a long one. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it's just like we could have been in and out in a day, bro. Like, we didn't have to sleep over. We could have just gone for a day.
I wonder how like the elevation on that is though.
The one that we did?
No, the actual 4 mile.
I don't think it's bad because remember where we started running into people? Like it went from desolate, nobody,
and then we
hadn't seen people in like 5 miles probably.
Oh, easy.
And then all of a sudden we go 1 mile farther, maybe 1.5 miles farther, and everybody is there. And so we realized like there's another trailhead. I am pretty sure had we gone that other way, we were in the parking lot or near the parking lot, and that 4 mile trail was right there. And we just like, bye, everybody. And took off on our own dumbass.
We're going on our own adventure.
Yeah, we're going to go to the lake. And they're like, this idiot.
I just remember we did hammock tents. And so the next morning, I'm going to use the bathroom and stuff. And I went to go use some monkey butt powder so I wouldn't chafe. And I'm sitting there like powdering my nuts and stuff. And all of a sudden, as I'm sitting there, I hear this like growl. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
You slap the powder.
I like, pull my pants up, get it all, zipped up, and I'm like, start backpedaling because I keep hearing this growl. And I'm like, I remember I backpedaled and I ran to Tom. Dude, I heard something growling over there. I don't know if it's a bear.
I brought him right to you.
I go, I think there's a bear over there. We gotta go.
We never saw anything.
No, but then I hear elk or deer make a noise that's similar to that.
Kick our ass. So
yeah, I don't want to get stabbed by a
the funniest part for me was the night before that. I was woken up by a chipmunk and just about shit my pants. Like,
being in the woods alone is crazy.
Like totally alone. You guys have to understand. Like seriously, we had not seen a human being in 5 miles.
No, it was longer. It was like 10 miles. We hiked 10 miles.
I mean, it was like insanely because at that point we hit 12 miles at that point.
We hit 12 miles in, and then that's when we like kind of like
hunkered down,
and then we didn't really see anybody.
Because it started to get too dark. We were like, we need to find a spot kind of cleared so we can actually set up a camp and be done before it's too dark.
Yeah. So there's like nothing.
We need shelter, like our little. Why do we need shelter? We just swung in hammocks.
We're like, in hindsight,
yeah,
I probably would have took that and spread that out another day.
Yeah, for sure.
And probably not done that as our first major hike.
Right. My knees were kind of killing me by
my calf. My Achilles were killing me.
Pretty sure we both jacked ourselves up on that one. The craziest thing was when we got into town. We got into the town next door to ours, like the farthest end of Richland, and from that point to our houses was as long as we had walked, which when you consider all of that was like mountainous terrain. Yeah. That's pretty insane.
It was cool.
Pretty nuts.
I'm proud of that.
For those of you locals, start out at the golf course, Horn Rapids, and walk to East Kentwick.
There you go.
That's pretty much as far as we went in a day. It was pretty nuts. Or 2 days.
It was pretty wild, though.
It was pretty nuts. But that second day, didn't we hike all the way out that second day?
Yes. We were like, let's just go.
Yeah.
and that's where I was like, we should have probably
paced it out. I think I was the one that bitched out there. I think I needed to get home to Blanca and like.
I think I think something I was talking to Ben about this or something. Like, and I probably spoke to you about it, but like I used to be like, I need to hurry up and get this done.
Yeah,
like,
right.
We're hiking. Let's hurry up and get to the top. And it's instead of like actually enjoying the moment, taking your time, and
right.
And so, and back then I was doing that a lot too. You know, like, all right, let's just go. Yeah, you know,
right.
I don't want to get in trouble or whatever. But we're already fucking out there. Like now, like I'm taking my, I try to learn to like just kind of like
take your sweet ass time.
I'm taking my time. We're hiking. Like, what's the rush?
Let's slow it down. Let's click a little pace. It's nice.
On our way back when we did our hike, when like Alicia and I did our hike, on the way back, we kind of walked a little quicker because the sun's going down a little earlier. So it's like, let's get.
There's life preservation reasons that sometimes you have to speed it up a bit, but minus those.
But no, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to kind of slow down, take a moment,
smell the flowers.
I don't know. Like I said before we started, like I've been in, I don't know if I'm like in a bad mood or just like in one of those weird moods.
Yeah, you said you're either very zen or very mad. I'm like, that is such an interesting thing.
Yeah, to be like somewhere there. Like I don't know. Like I'm either in the perfect state of
bliss or I am absolutely enraged.
Yeah, some stuff happened at work.
Yeah. So you said you're like fed up. So you feel like maybe that moment where like you've either broken or
like when's the moment that I need to just say, you know what, it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The money's good, but it's not worth it. It's messing with me mentally, like it's draining. It's like I'm done because I can feel myself at that threshold where you're gonna snap, and I don't want to do that because
gotcha.
Like my sister said, my sister knows too. We were all talking, and they're like, "Yeah, Jesse's one of the most laid back guys I know, but man, he can when he snaps, it's like he's mad."
I've never really seen you snap, but I can imagine because like any,
I don't snap where I'm murdering you. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, one time I thought he was going to kill me, but
it's just like I go from like just kind of being a pretty mellow,
blowing up,
to just like blah.
I can kind of be that way because it takes a lot to get me to want to speak up, and once I do decide to speak up, it's like,
there was a moment there where I was like, do I say something? Do I not? I obviously let go, but it's like pet peeves of mine that I'm learning to like, okay, I gotta just deal with it, I guess. But then I feel like I feel like a bitch when I have to let stuff go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I can't let this go. And I think it's like, you ever hold on to something when you should probably just like, okay, it's over, it's done with.
Let it go, but you just can't.
So, and just now talking, I'm kind of realizing, I'm wondering if I'm just like kind of holding on to all this crap, and it's just like I need to just woosah, who gives a fuck?
Well, I totally get it. I mean, I had a job there for a while that was very, very stressful, and it's like a compounding issue. I think you're dealing with the same thing. It's like every day, it's just the same things that you can't quite deal with. That keep just pounding and pounding and pounding.
And I feel like I'm getting nitpicked for everything. And so that's even more annoying, right?
Right.
And it could be all in my head. Something Alicia told me that kind of like maybe just go, and it was today, was just like, because I was like, why is this happening? Watch, I'm going to get fired, whatever. Like I tend to like spiral downhill when I start thinking too much. Like, it's probably because I'm going to get fired. Jumping to conclusions, jumping to the worst one.
I'm just going to quit because he's going to fire me anyway.
Yeah. I'll jump to those conclusions. Sure. I don't know why.
Sure.
But then my brain just goes that way. I'm trying not to. But she was just like, I mean, if you do, you do. It's what can you do about it?
Right.
Like
true.
If it's going to be done, it's going to be done. It's nothing you can do to stop that.
Right.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Right.
That's true. Much energy is wasted on things that don't turn out to be.
So I was like, God, she's right. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like you said, you waste all that energy, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
But we're human.
God, give me the strength and to fix what I can.
I know. I need to do the serenity prayer.
Right.
Lord, forgive me.
Lord, give me the strength to fix what I can,
the stuff I cannot,
the wisdom
to be like, Lord, serenity,
God,
grant me the power to fix things I can't fix.
I went to preacher school. I'm pretty good.
Jesus, I don't know, man.
I love that prayer too. It actually is good. And I don't know. I don't think it's actually biblical even, but
no, isn't that
and the wisdom to know the difference? I remember that line because that's when I'm like, oh, that's clutch.
Serenity prayer. Lord, grant me the strength. I think is part of it.
Yeah, Lord, grant me the strength to fix.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage
go.
to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's pretty good.
I think that's what I need to know. I need that wisdom.
The wisdom part. Yeah. What can I not change?
Yeah. How do I know? Yeah, exactly.
But what if I'm just a shit? What if I'm just not good at anything?
I get that.
I have the wisdom to know I can't change that.
Yeah. Sometimes I get like that though, where I'll, I don't do that like I used to.
Yeah.
Because I used to really, what do they call that? Deprecate?
Yeah.
All right.
Shit on yourself, basically.
Yeah. Defecate.
Self-defecate. Self-defecate.
I'm doing that right now. No, but like where you just like,
Yeah.
I'm just,
self-deprecating.
I suck at everything.
Right,
I'm no good.
Good.
Yeah. I used to do that a lot.
We do a lot of work with our students now on like a growth mindset, which is the idea that everybody's capable of learning and growing.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the mindset of wanting to grow and blossom and change. It's.
I think that's important for kids to know.
It really is, because I think if they start young, that like we're old and we tend to kind of get stuck in our ways.
Yeah.
I certainly do.
Oh, I know I do.
But hopefully at their age, they can learn like I can overcome anything. I can achieve anything. Then by the time they're an adult, they're like, oh, this is hard, but I've been through hard before.
Yeah.
I thought I couldn't do this before and I did it. So,
yeah. No, that's I think that's important. I think kids need to learn that. Like it would have been cool for me to be, to hear that growing up.
Yeah.
I can't recall like hearing like,
right.
You could do anything if you put your mind.
Yeah. Our generation was like right before everybody.
You're dumb. You're going to be something. You're not. You're cool.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Right.
That's how it was.
All right. You're a piece of dirt. Get out of my class. No.
Well, no, I think it's just like stuff that like the negative stuff that's happened. Like I always just held on to.
Yeah.
Was probably my issue. Like I had teachers telling me like, you're going to fail. Don't try.
God, that's such a bad thing for a teacher to say.
I swear to God.
Stop trying because you're a loser. You'll never amount to anything anyway.
Miss Weaver, she taught at the high school I went to, Foster High School. She taught there. She was an English teacher. She told me, you're going to fail. Don't bother trying.
So Miss Weaver, I'm very curious what you meant by
I was like, I just remember I lost my shit on her once.
Well, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do with that?
Nothing. I did. So I did. Instead of maybe that's trying to do that reverse psychology.
See, but I can understand.
I'm going to prove you wrong. I said that to a teacher.
Maybe she was that brilliant. Maybe she's like, this kid needs me to tell him he's a piece of dirt, and then he'll do it.
Well, see, that's what I never got, is because this lady had this thing against me. My ex-girlfriend knew that, like, what did you do to her? I'm like, nothing, So
that's the problem, though, is like, as a teacher, you shouldn't really have that attitude. I totally get being strict with a kid or getting to a point where you're like, you flat out tell them, like, look, if you keep doing this, you're not going to pass. I get that.
Yeah.
But telling a kid, like, why are you even here? Like, you're wasting my time, your time. You're garbage. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I don't know where it came from, like some of that stuff, right?
Yeah, you remind me of my ex-husband. You're trash.
Bro, that's exactly what I thought.
Get out of my room.
That's what I thought, because anybody who knew me in high school knew I wasn't like this class clown. Like, I wasn't a loud kid. I wasn't, if I don't recall being a loud kid, but I wasn't like disruptive or, rude. I remember, but she would always just be like on me about stuff. You're doing, like,
do you think she was like outrageous?
Maybe, because I remember I was just sitting there reading someone's shirt and she accused me of sleeping, and I'm like, she's like, Jesse, I'm like, what? She's like, your eyes are glazed over. I'm like,
why are you guys always so sleepy?
She probably thought I was like a stoner because I have like small eyes. That's probably what it was. She probably thought I was always stoned or something. And I like never smoked in high school.
Like, yes, miss.
Hey, Miss Weaver, man. I am glazed over.
Oh, man, this is the best class ever.
I didn't like her, but I would have like that happen, like teachers.
Yeah, but like that's just not
just points in my life where it was like that negative stuff. So it didn't help when I would be like, well, I can't do nothing. Then it'd reiterate. Yeah, right. Well, You know, like,
right.
So I think, you know, coming from stuff like that, I'm like, okay, we got to let that go.
But
because I know I can do a lot of shit. So it's like, but you know, when I can't do something, dude, that's when I lose my shit.
Yeah.
A lot of times if there's something I know I can do, but I can't get it right away.
Oh, we've talked about that. I think
we've talked about that.
Many guys have that issue. I know I do. Many other people have talked about it. It's just
table flip.
Yeah.
That's why Jesus flipped that table.
He did. He was like,
you guys ain't listening?
You guys are making all this money. I went in on this shit. You won't let me in?
It was my idea.
This church thing's mine, damn it.
I know.
I just love the idea of it. I'm like, I love the image of like the American Christianity, what they've done with it. It's like all about making money. And at the time, Jesus is like, fuck this shit. You have a bookstore and like you're making money off of stuff? Bow.
So there's this video I saw on like Instagram or like on YouTube Shorts or something. But this guy's like, he's with Joel Osteen.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's like, Joel Osteen, hey, what's up, man? Hey. And they're like, hey, what's up? He goes, you know you're a piece of shit, right? Right? You know you're a piece of shit? Yeah, he knows.
Brother.
Because he walks away and then the guy looks at the camera and goes, oh, he knows. It was so awesome.
Well, like.
Everyone in the comments were like, you're a legend.
I just am, some of the stuff. It was, like, man, come on.
It was great because he had the biggest smile. He looked like a college, like something. I don't know. He looked. I don't know if you. So Brock Purdy, he's the quarterback for the Niners. Okay. He kind of had that look to him. Mm-hmm. Real, just like, you know, in a polo, nice hair, just pretty boy. Cut,
yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and he had the smile, like he was like, hey, oh, it's Joe. You know, you're being
baited him in.
Oh, it was perfect.
Huh? The only thing I'm personally going to say against Joel Osteen is the fact that, from what I heard, he didn't open his church up. And we've talked about it when there was that massive flood in Texas.
That's what I was looking for.
Isn't that the point of being?
But you know how much it would cost if you had to like, clean after them?
Oh yeah, they're dirty people. They're dirty people.
Dirty birdies.
So Blanc and I went to a wedding. And I probably told this story before, but still it pisses me off every time I go there. There's a local Catholic church, and this isn't just a Catholic problem. This is like, in my view, a problem with American churches today. Not all, I'm sure. I'm sure there's still great ones, but I watched a priest outside of this wedding that we were just about to head into. There was a woman from another country, who didn't speak English. She was sitting there with her little kids, and her sign was like, please help, kind of in broken English, like, please help. No money, like no.
He corrected her English,
and that would have been nicer than what he did.
Oh Jesus!
So like we're looking and we're trying to look for like some money because it wasn't. She clearly was not a drug addict. It was clearly a situation where somebody brought her here.
Yeah,
a church like sponsored her over, or something happened. She fell through the cracks. Maybe she made it on her own. I don't know, but she's got these little kids.
Yeah,
this is where a church steps in.
Yeah, like, hey, we'll help you out.
Like, look, you're in a bad spot. We're all about God and about love and about this and that. The priest comes out and is like this at her. And we don't know what he said exactly, but he was like hollering at her. And it was clear he was, from his gestures, he's saying, like, basically, get the hell off our property. Like, people are complaining about you. Get out of here. And like, he could have gone out and been like, you know, here's information to call us Monday and we'll help you. Or so anything that a church should do. I watched a priest berate somebody outside of a church. Was it the classiest place to be? No. I'm not saying that the gal was 100% right, but she was. But that's what Jesus would have been all about.
I think you might have it messed up, though. I think he was probably exorcising some demons out of her.
Get out of her, demons! That's what he was doing. Yeah. He was like, get out, demons! And she's like, oh, he's telling me to leave.
Yeah. Like, he was trained for the exorcist role.
Yeah. She's a devil. He'd been given off of his antidepressants for a little bit. So.
Yeah, he was like throwing holy oil on her.
Like incredible.
That's pretty fucked up.
Throwing holy water on her. Get out of here. I just like it really struck me. I'm just like, this is what it's become.
Yeah, no.
This is Jesus turning over table shit. Like
that's why Jesus would turn her table.
Like
that's not what he wants.
I just heard a story. They were saying that like there are a lot of people in the American church today when they quote Jesus. Like there's a lot of ministers and stuff worried now because the political tone of today is so negative that when they quote Jesus, people will say, well, that doesn't work anymore. Like preachers have flat out said, like, we'll turn the other cheek. show kindness, blah, blah, and like that don't work no more.
Well, make it work.
So Jesus doesn't work anymore. So you're not a Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you're not a Christian if you don't think Jesus works.
Yeah, those 10 commandments. Look, like I think they need to go back to the drawing board.
That was all cute back in the Stone Age, but today we have to shoot people.
I'm like, come on. Like, I
can you imagine if they try to
by no means are all Christian people bad?
We're
going to
go back and redo the 10 commandments.
Yeah. Thou shalt kill if they're a douche.
We'll keep that one in.
I mean, hey.
We'll keep that one in.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not cheat. Nah, that's stupid.
Thou shalt not cheat with an ugly neighbor's wife.
Yeah. Taxes, you can cheat on those.
I mean, if the girl's ugly, don't cheat. But if she's pretty hot, like,
It's mind-boggling though. Like,
no, it's pretty wild. I'm just like,
and that's the thing. Like, I've gone, like I grew up in the church.
Oh, sure, and I did too.
And I had, I had great time.
I did too. I loved the church I went to,
and they were cool. But like, it is pretty sad when it happens that way.
It just seems like it's so like radicalized and angry. You know, like it's not about love. My church was very much about love and respect and like all that. So I don't know.
Holy moly! Speaking of Jesus, today's 2 years, man.
We didn't bring that up. I was just hit by the devil.
Today's our 2 years.
How the hell did we not? That was what I was going to lead in with. Guys, we almost didn't even mention
Rewind.
This. Why are we doing this on a Monday night, you ask? I know you've been wondering the entire time. Yeah. Why, guys, all of a sudden the Monday night? This is not a normal thing. This is not something to look forward to in the future. We'll always try to do Sunday. We used to do Friday. Apparently, we can't land on anything. But 2 years ago to this very day, possibly this very moment, we were sitting downstairs in my basement
drunk
with his phone, drunk, way fatter, doing our very first podcast.
Yeah,
kids coming in and out. Didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, they were on it.
Been a wild ride, I tell you.
That was cool though.
It was cool.
We should I might
listen to the original. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I want to hear it. Blanca said she listened to it. She's like, man, you guys have come a long way. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just remember it was on the phone. It was just right there. Yeah,
I mean, it just was nothing. We just sat on a phone and talked.
And we're reaching into 100 episodes,
guys. We are 95 deep this time.
See, that's why we need
5 more episodes, and we're at 100.
We just need you guys to share us. That's
in
what I'm trying to say.
5 to 10 years, when you guys have your friends have all listened to this, and you're like, wow, 100 episodes, and this was like 8 years ago. We're gonna be huge. I just feel it.
I know it.
There's so many times it's like 10 years later. I was like,
I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like it's gonna happen.
I think we're.
I don't know why. I just have this feeling that eventually, it'll pay off.
Our 3 fans that have listened week in and week out.
Hey, listen, 3 fans. 1, thank you for listening and tuning in.
Hey, please say A.
Hey, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
B, share with everyone.
Yeah.
You know what?
C, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. D,
give us a 5-star rating. It really helps us out.
Yeah, that's it. And D, A.
D, A.
D, A.
Double A. B,
what would that be when it's like a
1 point A.
A 2.
Yeah. So
I don't know. But yeah, no, 2 years. That's
that's
kind of awesome. We've kind of like been pretty steady.
Not only is 9/11 the day America was hit hard, sadly, and the day
that's crazy, huh?
Our child's birth. A weird way to say it. It's also the birth of our podcast. You might say our baby.
It's the Trinity, bro.
It's the Trinity. It's 1 bad, 2 good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
With that, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Speaking of Jesus, no, I'm just kidding. What was I gonna? Oh, remember I brought up JJ was all like about always seeing the positive in things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been trying to kind of do that sometimes because it just makes me laugh to see that. But I was in Tokyo, Washington,
not Japan. Can't drive there from here.
There's a weed shop and a gas station.
I saw that. Really great spot for both.
Right next to each other.
Hey, are you driving long distances because there's nothing else anywhere near us? Buy some weed.
Yeah. And so I stopped in there because I had to use the restroom in the gas station, and man, it was nice.
I need to start stopping.
It was actually a nice bathroom. I was like, tiled wall. and ceilings all matched. It was all
the
marble.
ceiling was tiled.
No, but the walls and the floor were all the same.
They painted the Sistine Chapel on top. It's
actually, yeah, and it's two guys peeing on each other. That's crazy.
two angels instead of fingers touching, it's pea streams touching.
The peas cross.
Just peas.
The streams cross.
They're having a sword fight in the sky with their angel poses.
I remember a sword fight with my cousins, Pete with our pee when we were younger. See who'd win.
Crossing streams.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And then one of our cousins, she was a girl. And she wanted to pee like us, so she stood up. I remember, she was younger. She stood up to go use the restroom. It was so funny. We're like, yeah,
man, you're not gonna win.
No, she wasn't trying to do all that, but yeah, she was just like, I want to be like you guys.
That must be a normal girl thing, which I'm just like
to try it.
If I can sit to pee all the time and not feel weird.
Well, they make a funnel for girls now, so they can stand and pee.
Good for them.
It's so weird.
Girl urinal. I just don't know how that doesn't just get on your body. Like,
all I picture is like this is how I picture it.
Yeah.
Is a fighter pilot mask.
Yeah.
And then with the hose coming out. Right? Now how it would be, they just put it on their little thing right there.
That
and
game
out.
Where you throw the ball and you've got that like long channel thing that you
scoop the ball in.
I feel like it would be like that, like a scoop with the funnel in it.
Yeah, probably something. Yeah.
But like, we know what the splashback's like because we have to pee standing up and stuff. Wouldn't that cause a massive amount of splashback onto your skin? Which I guess you just use toilet paper. I get it, but like,
no, I hear urine's good for your skin.
Yeah, it's very exfoliating. I piss on myself. No,
I'm not even lying.
Oh, okay.
I dated a girl who said her mom would do that. Right? She would wash their face with urine because it helped them not get acne.
I think her mom was a prostitute.
Right? Like it's something with like
the acidity, I guess, would probably kill
and the girl didn't have acne. Her skin smelled a little.
Her mom
That's what she said.
Her face?
When she was younger. Yeah.
With whose urine?
I don't know. Bro, I didn't know.
Jeez.
And I could have the story wrong. It could still be all I know is someone's face got washed with piss. And that's why they don't have skin. They used it. And I don't know how true that is either. So,
in related news, R. Kelly is serving a very long prison sentence for exfoliating girls' skin.
I was just trying to help her out.
I was just exfoliating. That's all I was doing.
What a piece of shit, that guy.
Oh, God.
He's the only one I can't listen to his music. I loved his music, but it's
pretty bad.
It's like knowing what it like.
Well, and like a whole ring of activity. Like, I mean,
and he had some good songs.
I wanna piss on you. That was not actually.
No, that's Dave Chappelle. That was great.
Chappelle, but that was pretty good. I wanna poop on you too.
I wanna shit on you. But no, I think other than that, I was going to tell.
Question for the week.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's always your job. I'm not good with questions, apparently.
Question of the week. I'm trying to think. What was I gonna ask? What was that question I kind of asked?
You had a question about communicating with your boss.
Yeah. So, when is it okay to tell your boss something's not cool? Right? Without
like, how do you set boundaries with your boss?
Yeah. In a sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically being like, hey, I don't appreciate how you're just talking to me.
Right.
Is that okay?
Sure. Like being direct without being insubordinate, right?
Yeah. Being like, hey man, like, okay, yeah, but you don't need to talk to me like I'm your goddamn kid,
I feel like that would be such a good question for Sammy the Bull. Hey Sammy, when a boss tells
we should ask him, Sammy the Bull, question. How would you speak to your boss if he was like that? I felt like he'd be direct.
I feel like you shoot him in the head when he's not looking. Is that what it's like?
That's what I'd want to do.
That's a joke. That's not what you really do to handle things. I'm just saying because Sammy the Bull shot Big Paul in the back of the head.
Well, I mean, it's just,
But no, in like real life situations.
No, in a serious thing, like,
right.
There's got to be a point where it's like, hey, you know what? I'm a grown ass person. Like you don't come at me like.
Well,
that.
there's a way where I can see where you actually gain respect in the eyes of your employer because it's like, oh, this guy's not going to allow himself to be pushed around. But you can do it in a way that's very abrasive. Where they're like, how dare this fucker talk to me like that?
See, that's where, like, for me,
right?
when I get to my point of being upset, I'll just say what the fuck's coming to my head. Like, hey, motherfucker, why are you talking to me like I'm, like this or something? And you can see I'm hyped up. Like, that's how I talk. Instead of just being like, hey, you know what? I just really, instead of like how I'm talking right now, in the moment, I'm like, hey, man, would you want to fuck?
Would you say you become a werewolf in that moment?
In the moment, I'm like,
it's happening.
Gosh.
God, I wish I would have known you when you were 5. That would have been so.
I was older than 5, bro.
I was 12 and a half.
I was like JJ's age, probably. I was probably like 8, 9 when I told these kids that.
I was in 10th grade.
I just know I was, Wow. For those who don't know, I would tell kids that I would turn into a werewolf if they pissed me off. Yeah. And I would actually act it out sometimes. I would turn around and be like, and they're like, what? And then I'd chase them. Sometimes you just gotta get that werewolf out. You gotta let that dog out.
I would chase him.
Oh, yeah. I guess I was a weird kid.
Would it be ill-advised to act like you're a werewolf to your boss?
That's the question of the week.
To you. Like, what is the line of what you should not act like?
But I think you should be able to come to a boss and if there's something you don't like about them, they should be okay with you telling them.
I think a good boss who has good intention and wants a strong relationship with their employees, like appropriate relationship, that open communication is important.
Yeah.
And having employees that are good employees that also will respect those boundaries of position. I think where it becomes a problem is when somebody does not respect the rules or doesn't recognize that this person's in authority, because in that case, it's like butting heads.
Yeah.
But if it's just standing up for yourself and being like, look, I mean, you're the boss. I appreciate you being the boss. I respect my position, your position.
Maybe that's how Sammy would talk.
But I'm going to tell you, you ever fucking talk like that to me again? You're going to be picking your balls up off the floor.
I would love that.
You can't do that in schools.
We can't do that in the workplace, apparently.
Let me tell you something. No, luckily I have very good leadership in our building.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I would never have to, but
no,
I would never have to go tell them something horrible. I imagine you would.
I got good leadership.
Really?
I wouldn't have to tell them.
I wouldn't have to tell you. Pick your teeth out off the floor. I cannot imagine a teacher doing that. That would be the weirdest thing.
If I ever heard that, I would probably laugh. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mad props, bro. Like that's.
I'd be like in shock with a smile on my face, like I better hide because that is hilarious.
My God.
But I don't want to,
Yeah.
They see that. What are you laughing at?
We don't handle our problems like that.
No,
we teach kids all the time because like kids, it's funny. Like their gut reaction is to handle everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, they hit me. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Do you even know if you hit them or not? Like, are you even aware of what you did 2 seconds ago? No. Okay.
When I turn red, that I don't.
Yeah.
When you see red or whatever.
I see red. Red.
Wait, no, I see red.
I don't even know if those are the lyrics. Is that the lyrics? Is that the lyrics? Is that
the Chevelle song? I don't know. No. It sounds like you're doing the fucking I see rain.
Rain. That's what it is. That's what it is.
What is that?
I think it's red. I don't know.
Was it 50 Shades?
Yeah. I guess
he chokes her out or whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to spank you so many times.
Just do it. I want you to do it.
You're not going to like it if I do it.
Just do it, damn it.
Then he spanks her and she cries and leaves. It's always the way.
But what I want you guys to do is spank that like button.
Spank that like button until it cries and runs away, and then bring it back to you by marrying it.
Exactly. With that, you guys have a fucking awesome week.
Yeah, we wish you would do, friends. And to all our police and firefighters out there,
Thank you.
Of you that gave your lives on 9/11, you're probably not listening, but family members, whoever.
They're listening.
Really, that, all jokes aside, that day, it lives in my memory forever. And I think it does most of us.
Yeah, that's...
Most of us don't have a child born on this day or start a podcast on this day. Probably a bad call on that one, but... the history of this day, like truly, we will never forget
Oh no,
it was a horrific day, and one that it's probably one of those moments I'll see in my head on my dying day. Like those buildings on fire.
I just seen a new video actually of one of like someone like they were talking to the cops, and then they hear a plane and they scan.
Is it the guys in the street?
Yeah, like the cops talking to like one of the construction workers, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's other guys that kind of filming him, and then all of a sudden he like turns.
You hear it, and then they pull the camera up, and you see it. It's nuts. It's like it's the one memories that are accurate because you've seen the images like 5,000 times.
Yeah,
there's a great documentary that there's no words. This is my last moment, but it never happened. There's this documentary. It's they play live footage. There's no narration. There's no anything. The story. It's like you're really there. And it follows these firefighters, like first responders, all these organizations that set up basically camp in the ground floor of, I think it's Tower 2 that wasn't hit first.
Yeah.
So they set up shop down there to start planning how to save people from Tower 1. You hear the plane hit that building. I mean, you see when bodies start to fall. It's one of the most intense documentaries I've ever seen. It it's not like, oh, cool. It's like you just feel sort of the emotion.
I don't know if I want to watch that.
That
Seems
moment.
too real.
That day. It was very real. It was intense. Like to have empathy for what people were going through. Because the scale of those buildings was so insane that like you can't really grasp. Like they show this stuff falling from these buildings, or when it collapses, it's just dust. And then you see the size and scale of these pieces in that cloud.
Yeah.
And they're massive. I mean,
they look so small,
5 times the size of this table. And
and this table's huge.
This is a gigantic table. This is the biggest table ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so crazy. God bless everybody. Let's be safe. Let's have a safer world. Let's just everybody love each other. Let's try to understand each other. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, whatever.
It's all the atheist, same. You guys all believe in the same shit.
Love and respect each other. Get along.
And I think that's what all their Bibles say, really.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Can we all just get along?
Can we all just get along, motherfuckers?
That was summed up so beautifully, so wonderfully, like 30 years ago. Can we all just get along?
Right.
We obviously can't.
No.
But can we pretend that we maybe could? All right.
But anyway,
we love you guys. We'll be back on Sunday, we think, with another episode of Just Really Blended.
Oh, yeah. We'll be back.
Mash that like, subscribe.
We're going to be laying down
5
next
stars.
One.
It's so great.
I think guys. I could, though. All right. You guys have a good one.
We're going to lay on the couch, play with our belly buttons while we talk next time.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to smell it. Smell my finger.
All right, guys. Peace.
Bye. I got a hard ass widow's peak.